All right, guys, you asked a bunch of questions, and now I'm ready to answer them. So let's get started. It's a Ask Me Anything. So, Original Sticks asked, when did you find out Matt was a sim racer, and what did you think of it at first? So, I found out Matthew told me that he was a Twitch streamer when we first started dating, and I didn't know anything about it. So I didn't really have any thoughts. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well, hopefully he does other things than just play video games, I guess. Suspicious meth user. How big's Matt's Maloney? That's a baloney question. Eric Olson, did you think Matt was a huge dork when you first found out he sat in a pretend race car and streamed? A little bit. It's a little nerdy, but I don't think I saw the full rig until after a couple dates, and then I'm like, oh, okay, like this is a big thing. Okay. Lander Alonso, Matt mentioned your Spanish teacher. Can you say stuff in Spanish? Sí, puedo decir muchas cosas en español, como siéntate ahí. ¿Estás escuchándome? ¿Dónde está tu tarea? ¿Qué estamos haciendo aquí? That's what I yell at the students a lot. Jake Finnerman, how does it feel to be married to a two-time Daytona 500 champion? Feels the same as if he didn't win. My only question, do you think he's a good idea? Do you think this is a good idea? Well, soda count, I hope so. Lars Visser, why settle with Matt when you could have married James Saunders? Why? I just don't know. Adam Marcus, have any of your students or other kiddos from the school found out about you being a streamer or watched you on YouTube? I could have answered no to this one up until 2 weeks ago when my students busted me out. One of them came back from the weekend and was like, Mrs. Malone, I found you racing cars on YouTube. And I'm like, what? She's like, my whole family was watching you this weekend. And I got my phone out right away. And I was like, Matthew, take down my, my pissy pants race where I was swearing a lot. But we're good now. They haven't really talked much about it since then because I think I definitely downplayed it. I'm like, yeah, so where's your homework? Are you tired of answering the same questions over and over? Metal Addict, did I mention that I'm a second grade teacher? My job is literally to handle people trying to ask me the same questions over and over. Did you hear the directions the first time? Did you watch Matt's stream before you met? If not, how long were you seeing each other before he mentioned it? Well, he mentioned it right away. I didn't really know what it was, so I wasn't like super like interested, I guess. I'm like, oh, it's cool. People have hobbies. All right. But I did check out some of his YouTube videos before we actually met. And I don't know. I thought he had a really good voice. That was like my takeaway. Was like, oh, this guy's got a nice voice. Like, I really like his voice. It's hot. When will we see more of you racing on YouTube? Davey, I know not all of the things that I've jumped on Twitch have been put over to YouTube lately. I've been so busy at work, and then I come home and I'm just a little tired, and it's almost like I have to pick between if I spend time with Matthew or if I spend time streaming, and Matthew's spending so much time streaming, so I don't know. We're gonna make it more of a priority. Like, I do want to be streaming more and jumping on and doing more races. So stay tuned. Much to be more improved. Simrig says, why don't you make Matt run a Camel GT race every week as part of a chore list? Oh, well, because if I gave him more things to do while he was streaming, I'd see even less of him, not more of him. Ugh. Derek says, who does most of the cooking, you or Matt? Me. Although I will say, since we started Optavia, Matthew's been trying to do more of the cooking. Not like the majority of cooking, right? But like more cooking, right? So he has to see me do the recipe first, and I do it Because when he wings it, he's just like, oh, yeah, I think pesto sauce will go really, really good with barbecue sauce. I'm like, what are you doing? No. Do you like, think it through? What's going on? So when Matt's playing video games, what do? Well, Dave Cam, is this a hobbies question? Do lots of things. I try to take a nap. No. I do lots of, like, Bible journaling. I should really get more into the calligraphy side of it because I like fake calligraphy a lot. It's just very satisfying for me to, like, see something really pretty. Painting. I tried the violin. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I knew it was going to be hard, but I actually really need a teacher for it. Doing it on my own is not working out too well. Yeah. But what else do I do? Watch a lot of TV. I like reading books. I do like reading books. Fiction. Romance novels. Specifically, period specific, you know? Gotta give me some 1800s British romance. So, on that note, what's Matt's best quality other than his iRating, of course? He is very sweet, Ohud. He's thoughtful. It's just so sweet. He used to write me cards all the time. I have a collection of, like, probably a dozen cards. He would just, like, give me the sweetest little Hallmark cards. I'm sure he took up, like, a small fortune when we were dating. He's probably got some stock invested. But he's a sweetheart. He doesn't play it on stream, but he is. Ramanth says, boneless chicken wings or bone-in chicken wings? Boneless. There's something weird about, like, feeling bone against your teeth. Not a fan. Victor Tanaka says, would you prefer Matt to stream full-time all year long or get a year-long job? Ooh, I have to pick one or the other. I mean, probably then stream full-time all year long. As long as, like, so are we talking, like, equitable pay, right? This isn't like he's just streaming all year long for free. Like, but then you get, like, the benefits and stuff. I don't know. It'd be a serious talk to have. I know he's trying to, I don't know. I think he wants to, like, stream full-time, but the benefits and everything, it's just not, you'd be crazy to give up his current job. So, I don't know. I would say he could stream all year long as he's making as much as he would make working. Mobert, what are your favorite and least favorite parts about teaching? Thanks for helping the next generation be the best they can be. Oh, you're welcome. My favorite and least favorite parts about teaching. Let's start with the favorites. Let's start with the bests. So today I was explaining to the students multiplication, showing them, like, repeated addition and how you get it. And the whole class was having, like, aha moments. And that's really satisfying when a student's like, oh, I get it. And I'm like, yes. But you get a relationship with the students. I mean, you know, you really care about them. And I just want them to, like, be happy in school and develop, like, a love for trying new things and not being afraid to fail. So that's, like, really satisfying. The least favorite parts about teaching is that there's more stuff put on your plate all the time and less time to do it. So especially, like, in the last couple of years, I've noticed a shift with I have to teach more social emotional skills than I've had to in the past. I just don't think they're getting them at home, like how to interact with their peers. They're spending a lot of time nowadays on tablets and technology instead of collaborative games, and it does have a big impact in the classroom for sure. So that's tough. I mean, I don't get extra time in the day to teach those things. I'm still held accountable to make sure I get through everything else, but we can't move on because we're having a meltdown in the back of the room because you can't use your Chromebook any longer for the day. And it's a very regular occurrence that happens, so that's going to be one of the cons. Mod Prime, can we see you painting on stream or playing violin or both at once? Do you want them to be quality? because probably not going to happen at once. And the violin, guys, I'm struggling so bad with the violin. I underestimated it. I'm like, I played flute in high school. Like, I can do this. It's the same music. Like, you're just relearning something new. I'll just stay dedicated to it, spend, an hour a day, not a big deal. No. I need a teacher. Like, I need lessons is what I need. Painting's pretty fun, but I feel like if I'm concentrating on it, how are you going to see it? And I make weird faces when I concentrate. Like this face I make a lot. I don't know why. It's like, I'm concentrating. I know I'm making the face. Like, it's kind of a smile. It's kind of more of a grimace. Andrus Slysands? Did you ever imagine that you'd be the wife of an ambassador? No, I didn't. It's so glamorous. M. Gonzalez, is there something, hobby or interest that you are as passionate about as much as Matt is in iRacing? It's funny that you say that, because I was just talking to him this weekend about how I'm envious of his love for his hobby, because I don't have a love for a hobby like he does. I mean, he is like all in for iRacing. Look at this rig. Look at this rig. He loves it. I don't. I'm kind of like hobby hopping. Yeah, hobby hopping. I mean, I like karate and martial arts. I think I'm going to like do more jiu-jitsu. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Hanging out with Matthew. I'm passionate about hanging out with Matthew. I really like doing that. So no, I guess, in general. A10 Pilot, what's your opinion about homeschooling? Well, I think it could be really good, for sure. But, I mean, I guess if it's just, it depends on the rigor of the teacher, right? Just like any other school. I don't know. There's good opportunities out there. I was in 4-H growing up, and there was a lot of kids in 4-H who were homeschooled, and it was a good way for them to have, like, the social interactions like you would get at a regular school. And they did this outside of the homeschooling. They'd come to all of our events and be part of the clubs, and I thought it was great. I don't know. I'm in favor of it. I'm just a public school teacher. I mean, I'm not a homeschool teacher. I don't know. Ipan Grazio, whose farts smell worse, Roxy's or Matt's? Matt's. Ryan Patrick, is Matt really a fun-loving goober like he acts on stream? And how serious do you want to get in the iRacing world? Just in the short time you've been doing it, you really have a lot of talent. Even with that terrible coach you've got. Just kidding. Both of you are so much fun, especially when you're out there together. Here's to a happy life for both of you. It'd be awesome to watch you and him side by side. Ah, thank you. Is Matthew a fun-loving goober like he acts on stream? Yes. That's him. That's 100% him. Like, hands down, that's him. And how serious do I want to get in iRacing? I really like iRacing, guys. I love streaming. I love racing. I'm competitive. It's a perfect fit for me. The problem is I can't do it at the same time as Matthew. So I feel like even though he'll say, it's okay, babe, go on and just stream an hour, I feel like that's an hour that I could be spending time with him, and I'm not. And I just like, it's a losing battle in my head. It's tough. I want to balance it out, but then at the same time, I'm like, well, I'm not as, I'm just not ready. Like, you're doing a race, you're kind of tired. I want to hang out with you. So I would love to get more serious. We just haven't figured out, like, I guess a way to do it, Jesse Lacey, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? I do not know. It's a good question, though. Ratan Lavur de Vitris. What does your mother think about you being married to a big boy who plays video games all day during his off season? My mom loves it. She's always trying to, like, jump on stream and talk, to chat. She's dying to, like, oh, let me know when Matthew's streaming. I'm going to come over. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, what are you thinking? Like, So she's all in. I do think the difference is, right? Matthew makes money doing it. Like, just say it. It does change your perspective on it. It's productive time, I guess. Rich. Why did the beanbag upgrade to a lazy boy when Matt had to sit and watch you? Yeah, I know, Rich, right? Like, all of a sudden, he couldn't spend one day in the beanbag. I had to spend, like, 7 months in the beanbag, okay? It's just ridiculous. Al Phillips. Samantha, please translate what a gaggle into Spanish. I have no idea. What does Google Translate say? What a gaggle? I mean, it's just saying, que gaggle. Una manada. It's not the same. It's like a herd. There's no word. It transcends all languages. You just say, what a gaggle. It doesn't matter. All right. Victor says, will you let your kids become sim racers? I will let my kids become good sim racers. I will not let my kids become mediocre sim racers. Tass Adar, are you tired? Every question is about Matt. No, I'm not tired. And no, not every question's about Matt, so no. Evan, I'm trying to get my wife involved in iRacing. What were the things that you really liked and disliked about it so I can try to make her first few practices and races enjoyable? Well, I'm just really competitive. Like, really competitive. Today at work, we had a meeting, and for our icebreaker, it was like a competition on who could write the most, and you had to turn your paper in to our principal in order to win. And somebody across the room was like, I'm done. And she's like, no, you have to turn it into my hand. And I like full sprinted and like almost took her out. And then I realized after I did it, well, first of all, I won. But second of all, that I might have a problem because I did this in a room of like 100 people. No regrets. Anyways, iRacing kind of fills that fix for me on the competitiveness. It was really nice when one of my first few races I won because it definitely gave me that good positive feeling. And you're constantly like increasing in skill, and they give you all the safety rating and I rating to go with that. But it's kind of really overwhelming knowing the tracks. Like, it's hard. I still don't know lots of tracks. And you just want to get in like Matthew and like just drive, and you can't, and you don't know the limits of the car, or you're slowpoke. But I just really like racing other people and hanging out and like chatting with people and then driving with them. I think it's fun. It's all about community. Good luck, though. Good luck getting your wife into it. Seriously. Semi-terminal. What's the funniest thing that ever happened to you? Well, I think most things that are funny in the moment you don't think are funny. Like, they're embarrassing. But I don't know. What would be the funniest thing that's ever happened to me? When I was back in college, I was walking home from taking one of my final exams. So there was like hardly anybody around that week on campus because exams are so scattered around and it's not like you're getting the same dismissal times. And I went to NIU, which was that's the college I went to because I know that's going to be the next question. I went to NIU and I was walking across campus and I was wearing rain boots because it was like snowing and kind of icy. And of course I don't have snow boots because I'm a poor college kid. And I'm like, I'm just going to wear my rain boots. So I'm wearing like these bright purple rain boots. And I'm like walking, I got my backpack on and the wind's blowing in your face. And I'm like, ah. And I like go to cross at the crosswalk and the car's all stopped for me. Well, it's so icy on the crosswalk and I don't realize it. And I like take like 3 steps out into the road and my feet like come flying up. And I'm like, oh my God, like, and I'm like trying to like, I'm like waving my feet in the air, like, and it's like a slow motion kind of fall. And then I ended up somehow like catching myself with like one foot and one hand. And then I'm like, and I just like froze. And like the people in the car are just like staring at me. And I'm like, oh my God. And so I'm like, I got to make it across the rest of the sidewalk. No, I did the exact same thing like 2 steps later. And all of the traffic has stopped letting me cross. And I felt like the biggest idiot. It was really funny, but I was so embarrassed because I didn't fall, but I made quite a mess of it. I should have just fallen and gotten it over with. I mean, it's ridiculous. Ah, it's a long time ago, though. Mr. Snowrock says, what would you name your boat if you had one? Ooh, I would name it something majestic, like the Dorky Dolphin or something. That's not majestic. What am I even saying? I don't know. I probably will never have a boat. I'll never live such a lavish lifestyle. Ooh, what's something in luxury I could be doing? I could be... Is there a nautical theme word that starts with an L? No idea. Something in luxury. How about that? What was your face when you first saw the rig? Probably like this. Oh, it's cool. How much did you spend on this? Yeah. Thanks. Daniel, Coke or Pepsi? Growing up, I was all about Pepsi, which is weird because now I'm all about Coke. Like, well, Pepsi's like, what is this, flat Coke? What is this? And now it's like, oh, we don't have Coke as Pepsi, okay? I'm like, no. Do you have Dr. Pepper? No. I'm just going to drink water then. What's the point? Just going to give me flat soda. X Bucket says, we've not seen you race much lately. Is that Matt too cheap to buy you your own rig? Kappa? No. I already kind of answered that one. Like I said, I want to hang out with you guys. I got to figure something out. I don't know. Maka says, you teach kids in real life. Any plans for your own Rugrats? Yeah, one day. We're going to wait a little while longer. But, yeah, we definitely want kids. It's going to be a big change for me. When I have kids, I mean, it's my body that gets destroyed. And then I will feel obligated to be the primary caregiver. I mean, that's just my personality. And I don't know what that's going to do for my career because I want to be the most patient, loving mom I can be. And there is no way. My patience is worn out by those kids at school. Like, I'll come home and I'm like worried that I won't be the best I can be because sometimes I come home and I'm a little short. So it's tough. I already live with Matthew. I already got one kid with me, you know? JC Motorsports says, does a higher I rating turn you on more than safety rating? Does a higher I rating turn you on more than safety rating? Yeah, it does. Nobody wants someone that's just going to play it safe all the time. Get out there. Be risky. Be dangerous. Ooh, bad boy. What? Yeah. Daniel Thunder, what do you drive in real life? I drive a 2013 Toyota RAV4. Gray. Steel gray. I love it. I love it. A lot of people drive a RAV4 around here. It's a popular vehicle. I started it, though. Richard says, hi, Sam. Why Matt? Oh, such a short question. Matthew's wonderful. I love him so much. Kirill, I don't know. Do you ever get tired of answering the same question? I think you can find a friend to answer that question for you because Mrs. Malone's already given the answer. Rank Up Gamers. Can we get a Roxy Q&A on April 1st? Yeah, sure. Just wait for that one. Evan, do you think Roxy needs a friend? A spotter? I don't know. Roxy's a great dog. She's kind of like a cat. She's a cat dog. I don't know if we could handle a puppy because sometimes Roxy, even though she's so low maintenance, will still tick us off. So I can't imagine having a puppy in the house. So we're not going to be getting multiple dogs at once. Victor says, how often does Matt shower? And you? Matthew showers. He probably showers every day. When he's working, he showers. He comes home and showers. Supposedly, he showers every day before the stream. But if no one sees it, does that mean it's happening? We don't know. We just have to take his word. And me? I shower every day or every other day, but I don't wash my hair every time I shower because it gets all oily if you do that too much. So dry shampoos, my friend. All right, Marcus says, is Matt a patient iRacing teacher? How many hours a week do you practice? What's your favorite meal? Greetings from Germany. Is Matthew a patient iRacing teacher? No. He's a very patient racer, very forgiving, but teaching is different, right? Because you have to verbalize what's going on and you have to be able to like offer a suggestion instead of criticism. And that's hard for me because I want Matthew to be super supportive of me all the time and not critical. And of course I'm doing everything wrong because why not? I'm learning it. So a little less on the patient side. How many hours a week do I practice? 0. I practice 0 hours. You guys see everything I do on the stream, and that's a little depressing. I know I should practice more. Fully aware of that. So it's a little embarrassing to admit that, but no, I don't practice. And my favorite meal. Oh, I love food. I don't know. I just love food. I like pizza. I like tacos. I like everything. I like everything. Except weird shellfish. I don't like shellfish. But everything else, yeah. I don't know. If I had to pick something, I'd probably just go the safe route and say pizza. Sam's Pizza. That's from town. It's delicious. Oh, it's so good. I really want it now. Thanks, Marcus. Thanks for now making me tempt my slim figure with pizza. Lupus says, since you teach, has sim racing influenced your teaching style? You know, like making tasks more interesting by making them racing related. I haven't, but I'm sure it would be like more natural for me to say anything racing related now that I kind of hear jargon around the house, but it hasn't really influenced my teaching style any, I would say. It's influenced what I'm doing at work. Like sometimes I'll pop the stream on my phone while I'm eating lunch, but no, I don't think it's really crossed over into my teaching style. American Racing Fan, you are the CEO of a consumer products company. How would you determine the portion of your budget to devote to advertising? This is a good question. I like this. I'm the CEO of a consumer products company. How would I determine the portion of my budget? Well, I mean, it really depends on if you're a startup company or not. You should probably give at least 10% of your budget to advertising and marketing because you're going to need to keep customers coming in, but you don't want to be spending too much. I watch a lot of The Prophet, and he's always talking about, you know, customer acquisition and how much is that going to cost you. But if you're not advertising, you're simply relying on word of mouth. It doesn't work for most people. So probably at least 10%, give or take, depending on if you're starting up from fresh. Then maybe you got to go 15. Good question, American Racing Fan. Tommy McMurrow, why did you settle? I didn't settle. Boo. Rodrigo Luis, can Roxy do her AMA too? Oh, yeah, April 1st. Stay tuned. Rui Oliveira, how did you meet Matt? We met on a dating app, Bumble. I swiped right and he swiped right, and then we matched. And then we met at the mall at dinner time, and he only bought me a smoothie, and so I starved, and that's how I knew Matthew was only interested in skinny girls. He is ridiculous. Just kidding. Mr. Snowrocks, who's the worst character on The Office? Angela. Angela's the worst character on The Office. She's a little relatable, but really. Jumpin' straight. Thank you, Samantha and Matt. What's your job right now? I'm a 2nd grade bilingual teacher at a STEM academy. Very fun. HRB, do you find beauty or comfort in cool, overcast days, or are they just blah? I think they can be really beautiful, but they just make me kind of want to like lounge around the house. So they put me in a blah mood, but they can be really pretty. It depends on where you're at. If you're in the middle of Illinois with nothing around, it's not so pretty. Luis Riedi, why do you don't leave him? Why don't I leave him? Because I love him. Julian, Sam, how is Matt so sexy? I don't know. He's just born with it. Luke Bennett, can we please have a permanent dog cam streaming on Twitch? I am not the person to ask. Nope, I have no idea. I think there already is a permanent camera for Roxy. It's just you don't see it through the race. She's just sleeping all day. She doesn't do anything. Alex says, after you and Matt make your Twitch streamer fortunes, where would be your dream place to retire and move to? I don't know. I would move anywhere with Matthew. Like, as long as I have him, I could pick up and move into another country, across the states, anywhere really. Like, as long as I got him, I'll go anywhere. But I'd prefer somewhere either really, really pretty, like beautiful landscape. I just want to be able to look out the house and be like, oh my goodness, look at this view. Or somewhere really nice where I can just like walk around in a swimsuit all day. That would be nice. Maybe both. Maybe both would be nice. But mountains are really pretty to look at. I don't know. I would have to have multiple houses. Look at how high maintenance I am. I need multiple houses. Logness says, why don't you race more often? See above. Ford Falcon, how do you feel that all your questions are about Matt? I mean, it is his stream, right? Dave says, what made you support Matt in his gaming streaming? That seems very rare to me. Well, it's like a non-negotiable. Matthew's not going to give it up. But it can be compromised the amount of time he's doing it. I mean, we need to spend time together every day. And honestly, the fact that it's a productive use of his time helps as well. So on Saturdays when he's like, I'm going to just stream, you know, for 10 hours. I'm doing a race, babe. I got to stream. And then I'm like, well, I guess it's kind of like if you were working overtime at work, like, you just support it. You support it because you love them. Whackable Mole. Would you rather have fingers as long as legs or legs as long as fingers? I would probably want fingers as long as legs. First of all, because fingers are more useful than legs, right? I mean, the capabilities. And then I've now extended my reach. But if I have itty bitty legs, it's going to take me forever to walk around. Like, forever. No way. Nope. We're going to go with the first. Blue Monkey, what other hobbies do you have in common and do regularly? We watch TV together. Matthew doesn't do any of my hobbies. Yeah, no, we've talked about it, but he's not really interested. I'm kind of more of a crafty person. He's not. Meh. We don't have anything in common. We're opposites. Do you intend on getting to A class on iRacing and racing the high class cars, or are you just having fun? Nah, I'm probably just having fun, really. Yeah, I'm just having fun. How is it sleeping on the same bed as Matt? Is he a snorer? Does he toss and turn and kick you? Talk in his sleep? All of these questions need answers for the sake of the gaggle. Thank you. All right, here we go. How is it sleeping in the same bed as Matt? Wonderful. Is he a snorer? Yes. Does he toss and turn and kick you? Yes, he does. He tosses and turns and he wraps himself up in the blankets. He likes to like cocoon himself. So I didn't even tell him this yet. I started tucking the blanket in at the corner of my bed because we have a king size bed, which is ridiculous that we can't both be comfortable. There's plenty of room. We could fit like 10 people in that bed, no problem. And I'm fighting for blankets over here with one person. So I tuck the corners of the sheets and the blankets in the bed. That way he can't rip them off of me so easily. Because when I sleep, I'm like very peaceful. The blankets are over me and I don't move. I just fall asleep and I don't move. So I don't notice that the blankets are off of me until I'm cold because I don't fight them back. So now the bed holds the blankets in for me. But he will just wrap them up and I wake up and I'm frozen because he took all the blankets from me. Everything, the sheets, the blankets. And then he gets hot and will kick them off onto the floor. So now nobody has blankets. What a jerk. Ooh. Does he talk in his sleep? No, he doesn't. I do though, but he doesn't. Hope that helps, Matt. JT says, how do you overcome Malone having such a small Thrustmaster? Who gave you false information? Brian Jones, why do you choose to be a teacher and why add in Spanish? I chose to be a teacher because I couldn't make up my mind about what I wanted to be in college. Kind of true. Originally when I went to school, I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer. And then I realized that it might be a little too much for me. So it didn't. And I ended up, I don't know, I have a really younger sister. She's 13 years younger than me. And I just really enjoyed like being with her when she was growing up and like helping her, teaching her, like the nurturing thing. So then I'm like, well, maybe I'll be a teacher. And then it was my senior year. And I was dating a guy at the time, and his family did not speak English. So I was picking up on more Spanish, and I had only ever had like 2 classes in Spanish. So my Spanish was like, very minimal. But I don't know, I just kind of like, I decided I would take the bilingual proficiency test just out of curiosity. And I ended up failing it by 1 point. And then I was like, oh, I could be a bilingual teacher. I failed it by 1 point. If I study, I'll be fine. And so then I applied for jobs and I got hired as a bilingual teacher, even though I didn't pass yet. And so they gave me like a little bit of a leeway to take the test when it was offered again. And I took it and I passed it by 1 point. I didn't study, but I passed. And that's all that matters. I passed. And look at me now. I'm now proficient bilingual teacher. AH says, why did you settle on Matt? I did not settle on Matt. I married up. You guys are so wrong. Gil says, why did you marry Matt? Why? Harley says, how is iRacing for you? Is it hard or easy? I think learning the tracks at first are hard. I get frustrated, but honestly, I'm not even practicing, so I shouldn't say that it's hard. Like, it's pretty easy for me considering I'm not putting a lot of seat time in. HD Sitter says, is Baron Trump a time traveler? I think that stuff's pretty interesting, but nobody's time traveling. Come on, guys. Mr. Anderson says, is this a morning video? No, it's about 5:30. It's an evening video. Chris says, you have to give up meat or cheese, hypothetically, of course. Which one are you giving up? It's probably easier to give up cheese just because of all the things that have meat, but I love cheese. I don't know, I'd probably give up cheese. Can't give up meat. I can't do it. It's not me. Plaid Spacesuit says, what is your favorite marmalade? Isn't there a song, Lady Marmalade? My favorite marmalade is Lady Marmalade. That sounds gross, actually. I take that back. Oh my gosh. This is a video. I don't get to edit it. Apricot. What's the hardest thing you have had to learn with sim racing? Ovals and roads. Well, Varen Black, the tracks are the hardest things. Shifting was kind of hard for me. I still freak out. Like, I can't remember the sequence of how to do the start of the race. But the tracks are hard. And there's a lot of them. That's the hardest part. Road tracks. Ovals, I don't know. Matthew's just yelling, set it up. Turn in, set it up, set it up. But I think I figured it out. Keith says, what music do you and Matt listen to? Matthew listens to a lot of Johnny Cash and 80s. I listen to everything. Really. I don't listen to rap or hip-hop. So I shouldn't say everything. I listen to pop when it's on the radio. I listen to a lot of easy listening music. When I'm at work, I listen to like classical instrumental all day. Cerberus says, ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? I don't know. Muy lejos de aquí. Flisco says, you look normal, your performance. You look normal, your performance. Alpha says, is Pepsi okay? No, it's not okay. Is Monopoly money okay? Skeledroman says, what was the hardest thing to get the hang of when you learned to race? Shifting was pretty hard. Also, using 2 feet. Like, randomly, I would still just use 1 foot. Colin says, are you single? No. Samuel says, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? Anywhere with Matthew. The Talking Element says, why Matt Malone? Why not? Oliver says, why do you share the channel when the channel name is Matt Malone? Because Matt Malone didn't want to give me my own channel. I tried talking him into it in the very beginning, and he was like, nah. It's time to stop says, anything? That was your question. You used it up. Harmar says, how many consecutive push-ups can you do? 1, maybe. I have no upper body strength. Yeah, no, I'm not even going to show you. No. JRF says, what's the most annoying thing about Matt? He doesn't pick up after himself very well. He thinks things just happen. Like, oh, the laundry. I don't know. It just happens. Like, what? Nothing just happens, bud. Like, and when we first got married, we had a plan in place for who was going to do what chores. And it didn't happen. He didn't do anything. And I'm like, why are we not, like, I'm spending all day cleaning. Like, what's going on? And he's like, well, you're home. It's the summer. So I thought you can just do it all. And I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, do you want to reconsider that real quick, pal? Because I know you're not going to do everything in the winter. And he's like, yeah, I will. So now he picks up after himself. Mostly. Where do you see... Oh, wait. Hold on. I skipped one. Flinty says, can you say the entire alphabet in 1 word? Probably not. Let's try it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. The next time, won't you sing with me? It's easy. 1 breath. It's kind of 1 word. Did I pause? I don't know. Sambo says, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'm probably going to be chasing around some Rugrats, barefoot, my hair all, like, oily, got, like, pimples on my face. I'm like, just wait until your father gets home. Dreadlife says, as a language teacher, do you feel you're forcing students to learn a language, or do you think foreign students should be forced to learn English? Well, I'm not a language teacher, so I'm not teaching a Spanish class. Like, I'm teaching students who, when they registered for kindergarten, checked, yes, there's another language that's spoken in the house other than English. And based on that, they then came in and did like a language assessment where we just ask them some questions in English and we rate their responses. And then from there, if a student gets below a threshold, if they put down, yes, they speak Spanish at home, and they did not score proficient in English, then they're put in a bilingual classroom. And that's what I teach. So a lot of my students shouldn't be in my classroom because they do speak proficient English. The problem was you had a kindergartner taking a test with a stranger, and they got shy and didn't want to answer, and because great-grandma lives at home and speaks Spanish, they now are learning Spanish with me. So I guess I could be forcing them to learn Spanish. Do you think foreign students should be forced to learn English? I don't think anybody should be forced to learn anything, but I think it's very beneficial to learn multiple languages. It makes you very marketable, and who doesn't want that? I mean, if you are going to grow up and you could learn one language or you could learn 5, and you don't lose anything if you learn the 5, it's just extra, why wouldn't you want that? Of course you want that. That just makes sense. Jeffrey White says, fizzy stuff, sweet tasting, and comes in cans and bottles, not beer or any alcohol. Do you call this magical substance soda, as you should, or are you a weirdo who says pop? No, I call it soda. It's soda. It's not pop. I live in the Midwest, though, and I think everybody calls it pop. It's soda. Alex says, if you were a stripper, what would your name be? The double OP says, have you thought about getting a sim racing setup to put next to Matt's so you can race together and take him out if he gets ahead of you? I wouldn't be good enough to even keep up with Matthew. Dane says, are we going to see the Malones doing an endurance race together in the future? Like 12 hours of Matt and Sam at insert track here. Well, Dane, I would have to do the last lap because I would probably ruin all of Matthew's really hard progress, but it's a good suggestion. Pero no hay nada says, instead of triple monitors, why not use Oculus? That way Matt's rig would occupy much less and you could have your own. If Oculus makes you dizzy, one monitor's okay, and if he complains, tell him he sucks anyway. Oh, is this a Q&A? Favorite color and why not pink? Good suggestions. And my favorite color is blue, not pink. I don't really like pink. I just don't think it's like a flattering color. You either get like super bright pink, which is overwhelming, or you get like baby's room pink, which is kind of like blah. Nah, I like blue. It's a much more rich color. Nick says, how much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I don't know. We're asking the deep questions now. Justin says, question 1, will you marry me? Sorry, already married. And 2, if so, when? Sorry, already married. Charisma says, when will you and Matt 1v1 race to see who's the superior driver? P.S. The answer's not Matt. I am not the superior driver. There's no way. No. And Matthew won't let me because if I did beat him, he would never live it down. So it would never happen. How far is Baby Malone in the making? Danny B, you've got to wait like another year, pal. Snip says, did you eat your boogers right away or let them dry first? Do you eat your boogers right away? No and no. But I would think you'd want to let them dry first because squishy boogers, I don't know. It's just gross thought. Sometimes your boogers are already like dry up in there. Punto barra baja punto says, how small is Matt? Lars says, does Matt thunderfoot during... You guys are so dirty. Why can't you ask good questions, not me dirty? Anyways, what a way to end the questions. That was it. Thanks for tuning in and watching. I know I really need to step up my game and put more videos on YouTube. I've heard all of your requests. Yes, I know. I will make it more of a priority to get back out there and upload some good content. Sometimes my races, they just don't make it. So I will make it more of a priority. I heard you guys. I got it. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in for my AMA questions and answers. And I really hope to see you guys soon. But go ahead and just hit subscribe to Matthew's channel. Show him some love. And then in turn, I will take his love from him. So you guys just keep filling up his bucket so I can just take it all away. All right, guys. Anyways, it's been a blast. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.